Thank you so much for joining me for today. Today is our full body workout. We're going to be using weights. So it is a strength training routine. Oops, sorry about that. It is a strength training routine and a Pilates routine. So we're going to be working those deep stabilizing muscles as well as the larger major muscles, building strength, balance, tone, flexibility. It is a really nice, well-rounded workout. You're going to feel amazing after completing it. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm really looking forward to getting into it with you. This workout does include a warm-up and a cool-down. So we are going to jump into our warm-up right now. Starting off either in a cross leg or a kneeling position. I'm going to sit with my legs crossed, sitting up really nice and tall. We're going to stack the vertebrae up, one on top of the other. Shoulders are down, neck is long, and the crown of the head is elevated up toward the ceiling. From this position, we're going to place our hands on our abdominals, breathing deeply in through the nose and slowly out through the mouth, letting the shoulders soften, breathing deeply in through the nose, filling the back of the rib cage. And slowly exhaling through pursed lips. Good. Let's add that core engagement. Breathing in through the nose, inhaling. And exhaling out through the mouth, drawing the navel in toward the spine. Tightening the abdominal wall. Breathe in. And breathe out, drawing belly button in and relaxing the shoulders down at the same time. Nicely done. Now, I forgot to mention that I've got my weights here today. I've got my 8-pound and my 5-pound weights. I'm going to be primarily sticking with the 5-pound weights, but I'm going to be stepping up the intensity with the 8-pound weights for some of the exercises. For some of the lower body moves, I'm not going to use any weight at all. However, if you do have ankle weights, you might want to grab onto those. Okay, let's continue with that warm up, bringing the shoulders up and rolling them down and back, lifting those shoulders up nice and high and rolling them down and back. So we're mobilizing the shoulders here and we're opening through the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's go 3, melting those shoulders down, and 2, lifting them up and lowering them. Last 1, melting away tension in the upper body. Nice work. Now I'm going to turn to the side. You can be standing or kneeling or sat with your legs crossed. I'm facing my window here. It's a beautiful sunny day where I am. So it's such a nice way to start off the day with some mobilization exercises to really wake up the body. Good, and prepare for the exercise to come and the rest of the day. So we're sweeping one arm back, and as we do so, we're going to keep the hips facing forward and reach through those fingers. So stretching and opening as we rotate from side to side. Good. Reach back, so stretch those fingers in opposite directions, the front hand and the back hand, so you're creating a lot of space, opening through the chest, mobilizing the shoulders, and then you're also stretching the neck here. So try not to let the shoulders come up by the ears. Good. Stretching for 2. And final 1. And lower your hands down to the floor. Now from here, we're going to lift up that right knee and circle it around and down. Lift it up, circle it around and down. Let's go 2 more. Good, really mobilizing the hip, and then lower the knee, curl the toes, pike up into a downward dog, stretching and lengthening, and then we're going to bend the right knee and stretch the right leg. Good. Bend the right knee and stretch the right leg. Good. For 3, and last 1, stretch, lower foot, pike up a little higher into that downward dog, bend the knees as much as you need to, and take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth as you flatten out that upper back, and then lower knee down to the floor. Nicely done. Let's switch sides. Bringing left knee up toward the shoulder and circling it down for 3. And last 1. Lower knee, curl toes, pike up, stretching and lengthening. Reach up a little higher. Now bend the left knee and lift. Bend and lift. Let's take 2 more. And last 1. Amazing. Lower the foot and stretch and lift those hips a little higher. Lengthening through the spine. And lower knees down to the mat. Nicely done. Now let's really practice that core engagement here. We're going to plant the hands down below the shoulders, knees are below the hips. And we're going to focus on really drawing, vacuuming the belly button up toward the spine as we breathe. So we're inhaling, relaxing the belly. And exhale, drawing the belly button up toward the ceiling, tightening the abdominal wall. Good. Inhale, relax those abdominals. And exhale, suck that belly button up toward the spine, really tightening the core. Inhale, relax the abs. Exhale, draw navel upwards. Nice work for 2. Draw navel in and hold it in for the whole range of exhale. And last 1. Amazing work. Bring the feet forward on the mat. And let's continue to work and warm up the abdominal wall. So the hands come behind the thighs, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale to curve back into the shape of a C with the spine. Exhale to draw your navel in to lift. Inhale, roll back through the spine. Engage the core as you draw navel in and lift, tightening the core. Keeping the feet in contact with the mat. Try to keep the legs parallel. Curving back, engaging core, and drawing your navel tightly in to restack the spine. Let's go 5, 4, 3, and 2. Abs in. And on your final one, you're going to come out and hold. Extend your right arm, extend your left arm, and hold in that C curve, keeping the tension on those abs for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll up, cross your legs, and bring your arms back behind you, and just stretch and lengthen through the spine, extending the spine, bringing the gaze up, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, and then relax and release. Good. Now from here, we're going to pick up our weights and get into those upper body strengthening moves. So I'm going to take a hold of my 5-pound hand weights. You can go heavier, you can go lighter, just make sure you're moving with good form. I'm going to be kneeling, but I do suggest you stand if that's more comfortable. If you are stood, I want you to stand with your legs hip distance apart. We're going to take the hands by the sides here. Palms are facing forward. I'm locking my upper arms in toward the body. From here, we're going to bring the fist toward the shoulders, so wide arm bicep curl. And lower, bend, and lower. We're going for 3, keeping those palms facing forward, and then press up, bringing the arms above the head into a shoulder press. Lower, lock those upper arms in toward the side of the body. Lower and lift. Lower and lift, keeping the tension on those biceps as you lower and as you lift. And on that final one, we're coming up and pressing up into a shoulder press. Good. Let's go. Really flexing those biceps as you bring the weights to the shoulders and push up. So normally I would use a heavier weight for the shoulder press, but I would usually use this weight for my bicep curl. So I really want to press up with power to make that shoulder press really count. Good. 2 and 3. Amazing work. So really maintaining that nice tall posture the entire time. Good. And on that third one, press up with power. Great work. Keeping those shoulders down away from the ears, upper arms locked in toward the side of the body, and press up powerfully. Good work. Core is engaged as we breathe out. And last one, press up. Okay, final set here. 1 and 2 and 3 bicep curls. Press up and lower it down. Amazing work. Okay, from here, we're now going to go into some elbow taps. So we're going to hold the weight at shoulder height or creating right angles with those arms. And we're going to tap the elbows together, tightening the chest muscles. Open, tap elbows, squeeze them together, open. One more, tap elbows. And then from here, we're holding the elbows up at shoulder height and we're pulsing. 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, and 3. Working those chest muscles and then pulse up. 1, 2, and 3. Good work. 1, 2, and 3. Hold it open and pulse up for 2 and 3. Good work. Lengthen through that neck. Keep the crown of the head elevated up toward the ceiling. Keep that core nice and tight. Pulse it up. Whew, those pulses are intense. Good. 2 and 3. Pulse it up for 1 and 2 and 3. Good. 1, 2. You're doing so well. 3. Stick with it. Pulse, pulse, and pulse. Last set. 1. Really press those elbows together. 3. And pulse, pulse, and pulse. Release it down. Amazing work. Whew, those were tough. I find those elbow taps to be really intense, but a great way of strengthening and lifting those chest muscles. Okay, we're gonna go into some tricep extensions here. I'm using 2 of my heavier weights. You can use a single dumbbell for this, or you can use your lighter weights. I'm bringing the weights together so that they're parallel, bringing them overhead, and then keeping the upper arms stationary. We're going to bend at the elbows and then lift. So my upper arms are just framing the head here. We're lifting and lowering with control. So it looks like this from a side view. Coming down and extending. Coming down and extending those arms. So your challenge here is to keep those upper arms as stationary as possible. You're just hinging from the elbow. As you bend and extend, try not to let those elbows splay out to the sides. Keep your upper arms in fairly close toward the side of your head and really focus on the triceps doing the work as you extend those arms. Good, working the backs of the arms. We've got 4. Try not to arch the spine. That's a reminder for myself as well. Keep the core tight. Keep the spine aligned. And last one, push it up and gently lower those weights down. Great work. Okay, now I'm going to drop those weights off and I'm going to take a hold of my lighter weight and I'm going to move into an all fours position. We're going to continue to work the backs of the arms here. So from here, I'm going to either keep the weight under my left fist or in my left fist, or you can drop it off and just put your left palm below your left shoulder. Sorry, I don't feel like I explained that very well. You can have the weight under your shoulder or no weight under your shoulder. I'm going to take my right arm and I'm going to lift it up. So the arm is straight, the shoulders are level here, and the palm is facing up toward the ceiling. We're going to lower the weight and then lift it. Lower and lift. Good. Lower the weight and lift it up toward the ceiling. So your aim here is to keep those shoulders level. You don't want to be opening up here too much on the right side. You want to keep those shoulders square with the mat. Good. So notice I'm not just dropping the weight down straight away. I'm holding for a split second before lifting it back up. Press up. hold and lower. Press up, hold and lower. We've got 4 and 3. Nice, strong, straight arm for 2. And final 1. Amazing. Now I'm going to take my weight in my left hand, palm facing up. Take a moment here to square your shoulders with the mat, lengthen through the neck, and plug your core in so you're set up with really good form. And lift that left arm. Good. Gentle micro bend in your supporting arm so that you're not locking out the elbow. Good. Holding for that split second at the top of the lift. Keeping those shoulders square with the mat. You're doing great. Core is plugged in. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. I'm going to switch sides one more time. This time I'm going to move into a kneeling position and I'm just going to hinge forward. You can stay in that all fours position if that's more comfortable for you. I'm going to gently hinge forward from the hips, flat back. I'm going to take that weight and lift it up and pulse it. So really strong, purposeful pulses here. Back of the arm is engaged. Neck is in line with the spine. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's switch sides. Lengthening through the spine, hinging from the hip. Core is tight. And pulse. That palm is facing up toward the ceiling. Good. Really focus on that tricep doing the work every time you pulse up. You're doing so well. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Let's roll out the shoulders a little bit here. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. I hope your upper body is feeling really fired up. I know mine is. We're going to move and switch gears here, coming into our lower body work. So I'm going to use my weights for the bridge work, and then I'm going to drop the weights for some of the all fours work. But again, if you want to grab your ankle weights, now would be a good time to do so. Okay, I'm coming down onto my back. I'm using my 8-pound hand weights. Again, lighter, heavier, entirely up to you. I'm placing the weights just below my hip bones, and right now the spine is in neutral. I've got a little bit of space between my low back and the mat, and I'm going to be tilting the pelvis back, pressing the low back into the mat, and then peeling up into a bridge. So we're gonna lower, keeping the tailbone tucked, and lift into a nice bridge. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift, tightening the core and engaging the back body. Good, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. I really want you to focus on the hamstrings working, focus on the glutes working, focus on tightening the core. Good, we're strengthening the back, the core, the legs. Good, the glutes. We want to keep those legs parallel. We don't want the knees knocking in or splaying out to the sides. If you feel any pressure in your low back, lower down and reset your pelvis. So make sure your pelvis is tilted back. You're tucking that tailbone. Good. Keep it tucked as you lift and lower. Now, on this last one, we're going to come up and we're going to elevate onto the balls of the feet. So the balls of the feet are below the knees. If that's too much, keep your feet flat on the floor and continue pressing those hips up toward the ceiling. Good. Really driving up through the balls of those feet. Have a look at those knees. Make sure they're parallel. Squeezing those glutes as you press up for 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Nicely done. We're going to lower down for a moment. You can drop your weights off to the side for a sec and bring your knees in towards your chest, just giving your lower back a quick stretch. And then we're going to lower the feet down and place the weights back up on those hips. I'm going to walk my feet out a couple of inches in front of the knees, and then I'm going to lift my toes up off the mat so just my heels are pressing down onto the floor. I'm going to tilt the pelvis back, tucking the tailbone, and lift. So now we're pressing up through those heels. Again, if that gets to be too much, just lower your feet down to the floor so they're flat on the floor, and just continue with those really purposeful press ups, focusing on squeezing the glutes and engaging the thighs as you lift and lower. Good. Inhale and exhale. Press up. Good. Squeeze those glutes. Work those thighs. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, amazing work, and final 1. We're going to hold it here. Lift, tighten the core, press up through those heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Amazing work. We're going to roll up into a seated position and then come around into that all fours position. So this is the point where you can strap on those ankle weights if you want them. I'm going to push my weights out of the way and drop down onto the forearms. Now, setting ourselves up with good form here. Elbows are below our shoulders, knees are below the hips. We're going to start off on this left side. So I'm going to point the left toes, bend the left knee. We're going to lift that left knee up for 1, 2, and 3. Then I'm going to extend left leg out long and pulse up 1, 2, and 3 with a straight leg. Bend at the knee, lower, lift 1, 2, and 3. Straighten the leg, lower lift for 1, 2, and 3. Great work. Lift, lift, and lift. Straighten the leg, relax those shoulders down away from your ears. 2 and 3. Great work. Point, lift, lift, and lift. Really focusing on those left glutes doing the work. You're doing so well. Great job. 1, 2, and 3. Straighten the leg and lift. 2 and 3. Amazing. Now we're going to flex the foot and bend the knee, and we're going to lower, lift, 2 and 3, holding it there. Straighten the leg, heel to bum for a hamstring curl. 2 and 3. Good. Bend. Push up through the heel. 2 and 3. Straighten the leg. Bend, extend in that hamstring curl. Good for 3. Lift, 2 and 3. Good work. Hamstring curl. 2 and 3. Last set. Press up through that heel. Give it all you've got. Good. And then heel to bum. Nice tight contraction of those hamstrings for 3. Now we're going to straighten the leg, keep it flexed, and we're going to pulse that straight leg up for 20. Good. Pressing that heel up toward the ceiling. Straightening that leg, working those glutes. You're doing so well. Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Take the knees nice and wide and press back in to your child's pose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, let's switch sides. Over to that right side. Toes are pointed, hips are square with the mat. Lift, 2 and 3. Extend the leg and lower, lift that straight leg. 2 and 3. Good. 1, 2, and 3. Straighten the leg. Oh, I need a bit more space here. And lift. 2 and 3. Good. Bend. Pulse. Pulse. And pulse. Straighten that leg. And lift. Lift and lift. So your focus is on those right glutes now. Really focusing on contracting the glutes with every lift. 1, 2, and 3. Good work. You're doing so well. Lift, lift, and lift. Keeping those hips square with the mat. And 1, 2, and 3. Nice work. Now, bending the knee, flexing the foot, and lifting that flexed foot up toward the ceiling. 3, and then moving into the hamstring curls, pulling heel toward the bum for 3. Good work. Press that foot up toward the ceiling in your flexed foot position, and then pull the heel back toward the bum in those hamstring curls. You're doing so well. 2 and 3. Bend, extend, bend, extend, bend, extend. Nice work. Amazing job. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Keep your core engaged and keep breathing. Last set. 2 and 3. Hold and hamstring curl for 2 and 3. Good. Hold, lengthen through that extended leg. Keep the foot flexed. Neck is long and pulse. Little controlled pulses here, really targeting those right glutes. You're doing so well. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. We've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Take the knees nice and wide and stretch back into a child's pose. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2 and 1. Nice work with that lower body series of exercises. They were definitely challenging, but super effective. Now I'm going to take a hold of my lighter weight, my 5-pound weight. I'm actually going to keep my 8-pound weight handy in case I want to pick it up and increase the level of challenge mid-work in those abs. So we're going to lower down onto the mat, and I'm going to take a hold of my lighter weight to start off with. The feet are hip distance apart, the knees are bent. Now from here, I'm going to take the weight over the shoulders, and we're going to start off with some crunches to really fire up the abdominal wall. So we're breathing here in through the nose. And as we exhale, we're going to curl up, tapping the weight to just below the knees or however high up you can get on the leg, and then lower down. Inhale and exhale, curl and crunch up. We're holding and then lowering. Curl and crunch up, pressing low back into the mat. Reach through those arms as you bring the weight up, hold and lower. Good. Lift, hold the weight there, and then lower down. So that hold is what really makes this work intense on the abs. I want you to try to keep your abdominal wall engaged as you hold. So inhale and then exhale. You're breathing out to hold. And then inhale to lower. Good work. Lift and hold. Tension on those abs. And lower down. You're doing so well. Lift and hold. Deep inhale as you lower down. Good. Lift up. Curl and crunch. Pressing low back into the mat. And lower with control. Let's go 5. And 4. Lift up a little higher if you can. For 3, good work, and 2, lift and hold, and on our last one, we're going to come up and lift and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, now from here, we're taking the knees wide, bringing the soles of the feet together and taking the weight just over the shoulders. We're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the weight, just tapping it to the feet and then lower down. Inhale and exhale, lifting the tailbone up off the mat. Inhale to lower, exhale, draw the center of your abs down toward the mat. Good. Lift up your tailbone as high as you can to work those lower abs. Good. Inhale, lower, exhale, curl and crunch up. Lower and curl and crunch up. This is a really effective ab workout or exercise because we're working our upper abs as we crunch up with that weight. We're working our lower abs as we lift our tailbones, and we're lifting the center of our abs as we draw the navel in and hold in that crunch position. Good. Inhale, lower. Exhale, bring it up for 2. And on our last one, we're going to come up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Okay, from here, let's make sure that we target our obliques as well. So we're going to extend the left leg out long. We're going to lift the weight over the shoulders, and we're going to inhale and exhale to cross over and lower. Cross over, picking right shoulder blade up off the mat and lower. If it's too much with a straight leg, you can bend the knee as it comes in. We want to be really focusing on pressing our low back into the mat every time we come up and cross over. So we're not sort of rocking from side to side in the hip area. We're just rotating around the rib cage. Good. Let's go 4. Lift up a little higher. And 3. Last 2. Give it all you've got. Really work into that waistline. And last 1, we're going to come up here and hold for 5, 4. Reach further with those hands. 2 and 1. Great work. Switching sides. So straightening out that right leg. Inhale here and exhale, cross over. I want you to make every repetition really count by picking your left shoulder blade up off the mat and really squeezing, or rather tightening the abdominal wall as you breathe out. Good. Cinching in that waistline, working those obliques. Let's go 6. Abs in. For 5, lift up a little higher. For 4, nice work. 3, and 2, and final 1. We're going to come up and hold, reach, 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 lengthen through that leg for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Great work. Okay, from here, I'm going to take a hold of my heavier weight, and we're going to move into some upper and lower ab work to finish off. So I've got my weight above my shoulders. I'm going to lower the right leg and lift, lower the left leg and lift. Now, if it's too much, as you alternate sides with the legs totally straight, I want you to slightly bend your knees. And if it's still too much, I want you to lower the weight and take your hands on either side of your tailbone to support your lower back here. Good. So lowering leg and lifting. Lowering leg and lifting for 2. And final 1. Hold at the top. Either keep those legs straight or slightly bend them. And we're going to crunch up. Upper ab crunches. Finishing off strong. Great way to build strength and definition. Pulsing that weight or those hands up toward the ceiling for 5, 4, 3. You're doing so well. 2, stick with it. Last 1, lower your right leg, lower your left leg. Take your weight and place it to the side of your mat. Come over onto your stomach and let's stretch out those abdominals, peeling up onto your forearms or all the way up onto those palms, whatever feels more comfortable. Stretching and lengthening through the core. Nice work for 3 and 2 and 1. Bring yourself down, lift up into an all fours position. Now from here, we're going to step back into plank. Hold strong here and then fold the right leg under the body. Coming into pigeon pose. Stretching and lengthening through that back leg. Pressing the mat away through those fingers for 3 and 2 and 1. Stepping back into that plank. Folding left leg under the body. Stretching and lengthening, drawing nice deep inhales in through the nose and slow controlled exhales out through the mouth as we cool it down here for 3 and 2 and 1. Rotate so that your left foot is in towards your inner right thigh and reach up and over, coming into a side body stretch, taking a hold of your right shin or ankle or foot, whatever you can reach. Keeping the left bum cheek down on the floor for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it to center. Switch your legs. Left in toward the inner right thigh. Right in toward the inner left thigh, rather, and stretching and lengthening over that left leg. Finding length through the side body, breathing deeply for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up, cross the legs, lift the shoulders, and roll them down and back for 3, and 2, and final 1. Melting away tension and setting yourself up with really good posture. Amazing work. I hope you feel incredible and accomplished after completing that routine. If it's the start of your day, I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever time you're tuning in. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to moving again with you next time. See you soon, guys. Thanks for being here. Bye.